Today we're going to take a quick ride out to one of my favorite neighborhoods in St. Pete called Crescent Lake. It's just a few minutes from downtown, and it's just absolutely gorgeous over there. It's got a beautiful park and a lake, and I've often thought if I ever decided to move from downtown, that's probably where I'd want to be. And so this morning I saw on Zillow that there were two houses for sale, both around the same price, both at around $1 million. One of them was 1,100 square feet. The other one was 2,200 square feet, so it was twice as big. So that got me curious. I want to see why one house in the same neighborhood is worth twice as much as the other house. And they both look like they're in pretty good shape. So we're going to take a ride out to Crescent Lake. So we're exiting the downtown core basically and pulling onto 4th Street, which as you can see is a pretty heavily traveled road. You know, I think that first house that we want to see, which is the townhouse, the 2,400 square footer, it's easier to get into that part of the neighborhood this way. I could be wrong, but we're going to cruise down this alley anyway. So you can start to get a view of the park. There's a playground there. There's a few acres of green space. There are always people out here because you can see how shady it is. So even in the summer, you can get a little relief from the brutal Florida sun. It's not a huge lake. I don't think you can boat. I know you can't fish there, or I don't think you can fish. I think this is it right here. I gotta check the address, but you can see there are some really nice townhouse style buildings. Okay, I was a little off on my directions there. I thought the townhouses fronted the lake, but they don't. They're just off of 4th Street, kind of tucked in here. You know, it's a good location, but you don't have the lake view, so maybe that explains a little bit. I'm gonna make sure you can see it's a beautiful building, and 419 and 423, there's two of them in there, and they're both actually for sale. One of them's $1,049,000, and the other one is $1 million even, and they're the exact same size. I'm sure there's some differences on the inside, or one of them is just a little bit overpriced. But if you can see right at the end of the street here, you're like 4 houses from Crescent Lake and a few houses from 4th Street, which is a busy street, but you know, you're not getting a ton of street noise here, and you got quick access to downtown. So we're at 21st, which means Central Avenue is the dead center of downtown, and it's their numbered streets. So you're 21 blocks from the middle of downtown. You're literally a 5-minute ride. You know, it's not walkable. 4th Street's not really a street you want to walk on, but you know, it's a 5-minute Uber ride, pretty much to 5 or 10 minutes to pretty much any part of downtown. So I don't know. What do you think? That's what you get for $1 million. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,441 square foot townhouse. It was built in 2019, so it's brand new, or almost essentially brand new. We're not in a flood zone here. You know, this unit has been on the market now for 157 days, so a little over 5 months it's been on the market. And it looks like when it was originally sold, it was sold for $600,000 in 2019 when it was new. So that was $246 a square foot. Now we're at $410 a square foot. Not quite twice what they paid for it, but pretty close. Obviously, we've been through rapid appreciation in housing prices, so we'll see. They started out 1.15 back in June, and they lowered the price in July, and now they sit at $1 million, and their neighbor is 50,000 higher than them. So I don't know. It's a beautiful building. It looks like it's pretty well done. You know, everything is new, so that's what you get in Crescent Lake for $1 million. It's a beautiful townhouse. Now let's go check out that other house, which is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,098 square feet for $950,000, and see which one would be the better deal. Beautiful green space with a beautiful lake. You probably can't see it on the camera, but you can actually see the skyline of downtown from here. That's how close we are, just 20-something blocks away. And the houses that face the lake are just really, really nice, beautiful houses. There has been some tear down activity in here over the years. Smaller bungalows at one point, and a lot of them have been replaced by 3 and 4,000 square foot houses. So we're going to try to head up to this other house, $1 million, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,100 square feet, and see if it makes any sense. House pricing is more, well, I think it's equal parts art and science, because on paper, for my money, I'm going to go with a newer, low maintenance townhouse. I mean, you're sacrificing a little privacy, obviously no yard, but you got a beautiful park right down the street. That's probably where I'm going for $1 million versus a really small, less than 1,100 square foot bungalow for essentially the same price. But who knows? I could be wrong here. So let's take a look, see if we can find this thing. Oh, here it is, up here on the left. All right, so there it is. It's adorable bungalow with a metal roof. $950,000 for 2-bedroom, 2-bath, which puts it at $865 a square foot. There's no pool. It's been on the market less than 2 months. This estimate has it at $900, but that doesn't mean anything because a month ago it had it at $600. So when it went on the market, suddenly the Zestimate essentially comes close to matching the list price. It last sold in 2016 for $255. I think some work's been done since. The metal roof was 2013, and they advertised the garage can be made into an ADU, an accessory dwelling unit, but it doesn't exist that way now, so you'd have to put some money into it. I don't know. It's a adorable bungalow. I'm gonna have to think about this one. I don't know what you guys think. $1 million for a 2-2. That's a little shocking to me. $950 for that size house. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Would you pay $950,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath at 1,100 square feet, or would you take that $1 million and then maybe get yourself a 2,400 square foot 3-bedroom, 3-bath townhouse that's brand new, probably relatively maintenance free since it was built in 2019. Yeah, you're sacrificing a yard, but you've got this wonderful park right down the street from your house, and this $1 million or $950 for this bungalow, is actually a few streets away. The park is closer to the townhouse, if that's your thing. And you can also see here, I don't know if it's going to pick it up on the camera. I'm coasting right now. You can hear me revving the engine. I'm coasting. This neighborhood goes up pretty dramatically from this part. So we're not in a flood zone here. From what I can tell and from what I know, I don't think there was any damage from any of the storms. Obviously, we've seen enough neighborhoods around town with kitchens and hardwood floors and everything else piled out on the curb, and we're not seeing any of that here. I haven't seen any debris. Some tree stuff or whatever, but I'm not seeing any actual damage. There's a new bungalow going up right there. And again, I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera, but beyond that water tower there, you can see some of the towers from downtown. So that's how close we are. If you want to be away from a little bit of the noise and the hustle and bustle of downtown, but you want to have quick access, you want to be around a beautiful park, and you have, I think you can get into this neighborhood for $600,000 or $700,000. The problem is right now there are literally 3 houses for sale, and we saw all 3 of them just now. 2 of them were those townhouses, the identical 2,400 square foot townhouses for $1 million, 2,400 square feet. So price per square foot's not terrible there. And then a bungalow for $950. That was only 1,100 square feet, so $856 a square foot. So if you've got the budget and you want a single family house or a nice townhouse, and you want to be close to downtown, but you don't want to be right on downtown like Old Northeast or Old Southeast or historic Kenwood, which are sort of all connected to downtown, this might be a neighborhood for you, but let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think about paying nearly $1 million for, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath versus, would you sacrifice the yard and a little bit of privacy and go for a, something that's more than twice as big for the same price and that's newer? Let me know in the comments. Well, that concludes our tour of the Crescent Lake neighborhood of St. Pete. I hope you enjoyed it. It is one of my favorite neighborhoods. The only challenge, of course, is that it's not cheap and there's not a lot for sale. 3 houses in the entire neighborhood, 2 identical ones, and 1 smaller house. That is it for right now. But it's a great neighborhood, just a few blocks from downtown. You have the buffer of the lake and just a beautiful park out front. So I really hope you enjoyed it. And remember, I am a realtor here in St. Pete, and I would love to hear from you if you're moving to the area, Pinellas County, St. Pete, Clearwater, Palm Harbor, Tarpon Springs, Pinellas Park, anywhere in Pinellas County. I'd love to help you out. So shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a call. I'd love to help you. Also, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button so you get notified of new content. And one more last favor is leave a comment below. Let me know what neighborhoods in St. Pete you'd like me to ride to. There's tons of historic neighborhoods. Of course, the beaches are beautiful as well. So go ahead and make a comment. Let me know where you'd like me to go next. And with that, I will see you next time.